is I have 3 pieces of fabric, fairly neutral. I've got a little pink in there, but it's just an accent. What I've done is I have cut with the fabric. The white piece is 27 inches times the width of fabric, and the pink piece is 2 inches by the width of fabric, and this bluish black piece is 9 inches by the width of fabric. What I've done so far is I have laid everything out flat. I've got the black down on the bottom, face up. I also have the white laying down, face up. And then I have my pink piece, and then I have my pink piece with it face up. And I'm folding it in half. Now these width of fabrics may not be the same, but what I'm going to do, it'll work out, I promise. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the pink with the fabric against the white and the black. I'm just going to make sure everything meets up down here. And then I'm taking a clip and I am clipping it together. I'm going to do that down the whole length of this. Won't take but just a second to do. And remember, it's right sides up for the 9-inch, right side up for the 27-inch, and then fold it in half and laid against the right side of the 27-inch for the 2. We're just going to go down through here, put everything together. And I'm just using clips because it's easy on my hands. You can pin this if you want it to be more secure, but with my arthritis, clips work better. And I don't have any danger of pinching myself with a clip. And if you're watching me do this, you see that I have a little glitch in that cut. I'm just going to work right past it. Some days my hands don't want to cooperate. This is part of having arthritis. That's okay. We'll just keep going. And I'm not pulling really tight. I'm just trying to make sure everything's flat. You can iron all this before you start, but that's not my style. As you all know, okay. Last clip down here. Then what I'm going to do, you may see that I already have the 27-inch rolled up some. I'm going to finish rolling it up and keep that 9-inch piece just like I have it. And you want to roll. You know, don't fold this up or do anything funky with it. Just roll it. And then you're going to bring the 9-inch piece over and you're going to clip it, making sure your edges stay aligned. That's why I was pretty careful when I was doing this to make sure it all got put in there. Okay, so now after we have everything clipped together, we're going to put a 1/4-inch seam on this and go right down through here and just sew it. I'm using a 3.0 stitch length on mine. And the important thing to remember here is to keep everything even and don't catch that extra piece of the white inside there. Keep it all lined up. And I'm just using my hand as my clip whenever I take the clips off. There's my little glitch in my cutting. And I backstitch at each end. Bring it over here to your sewing table. You bring you down just a hair. You're going to reach inside and you're going to grab the fabric that you rolled up, just like that, and you're going to pull it out. Just like turning a strap or anything else, you just got to be a little patient and just keep turning. You'll notice I'm pulling down here on this end and then just pulling this end out. And what that does is it gives you fully enclosed seams along the edge of your pillowcase. So there's nothing there to make anybody, to get any little irritation whenever you're sleeping with this pillowcase. And now what I'm going to do is, ordinarily I would iron it, but I'm going to put my edges together, and I'm putting the wrong sides of the fabric together because we're going to create a French seam on this pillowcase. And all a French seam is an enclosed seam. It sounds really fancy, really great. It's not. It's just, you match up your seams here, okay, so that your two pieces of the trim match together. I'm going to put a clip there. Then I'm going to put a clip up here at the top. So again, my two pieces match together. And you notice I still have selvages in here. That's perfectly fine, because what we're going to do is we're going to sew this French seam and then we're going to trim it. Or we're going to sew this first seam and then we're going to trim it. Here. And I'm just clipping it together because that's easier for me when I get ready to sew it. I want to make sure everything stays matched up. And you'll notice that the bottom edge here is still a little wrinkly. Let's lay that out flat. And I'm not going to trim or clip that edge. That's not a problem. So I'm going to go back to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew an inch seam right here, all the way down and across the bottom. And I'll be right back with you. Okay, so as you can see, I have sewn a seam an inch from the edge all the way down. What I'm going to do now is, you could do this with your rotary cutter. I'm just going to go ahead and quickly do it with my scissors because I have them out. I'm cutting so that there is about 1/4 of an inch left outside of the seam. And then we're going to turn this inside out and sew the seam again. So here's what I've trimmed off there. I am going to do the little corner just real quick. And the reason I chose an inch was so that I could get the selvage off of here. Because the selvage was about 3/4 of an inch wide, and I don't want selvage in my seam. If you don't know what selvage is, that is the edge of woven fabric. And it's what the fabric hangs onto the loom with whenever it's created. And it's usually stiffer than the regular fabric is. And it can make your seam stiff, especially with a pillowcase. I don't want stiff seams. I want it to be soft and comfortable, and as the pillowcase gets washed over the years, or however long it lasts, I just want it to be super comfortable for whoever uses it. I went a little wonky there, so let's cut that out of the way. And now what we're going to do is we're going to turn the entire pillowcase inside out. And I'm going to push my 2 corners a little bit because I don't want them to be, I want them to be nice and square whenever we get this next step done. Now, you're going to make sure that everything still matches up. You can put pins on this. I'm going to use a 1/2 inch seam allowance. And as I sew, I'm going to push my seam so that everything goes where I want it to go. And I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so now I've sewn my extra seam on the inside. And now I'm going to turn this right side out. There is our pillowcase. There are no exposed seams, so you can wash this pillowcase as many times as you need. Millions of times, and no seams are going to fray. So you're not going to have strings in the bed. It's not going to catch in your hair. And you got to make it out of the colors that you wanted. And since I have big pillows, this is especially great because I like my big pillows. So we have a pretty little French flange right here at the edge. I can iron it. If I really want, I can go around and put a little top stitch seam right here. But I'm happy with it the way it is. So I hope you try making a pillowcase and you have a great day. Thank you for watching.